Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Elizabeth, Dr. E. Carter, PhD here. I am so excited to be part of the Comeback Champion Summit and so excited for this conversation, how to overcome broken rungs and concrete ceilings in the corporate workplace. But let me tell you, regardless of what you do, whether you're in corporate or not, these tools will help you. Because every day we are making a comeback from something, whether we are suffering a setback, a backup, even a backstabber. We know that there are ways that we can elevate and get beyond the barriers that are encompassing our lives. Let me first understand who we have here. And again, while I'm talking about corporate, this applies to everyone. First of all, have you those old Western movies where the piano's playing, people are talking, having fun, and the villain walks in and suddenly the music stops, the conversation stops, and they all turn and look at you? Have you had that problem in your workplace or where you are living your best life? It's happened to me. Secondly, have you been involved where there's a meeting? You know it's critical, crucial, so important. You are ready. You're walking with your beautiful loose leaf book with the dividers all organized. Any question that could be asked, you have the answer for. And meanwhile, your peer walks in empty handed and then has the nerve to ask you for a about working in an environment that we call corporate nice, where we smile and nod and grin, but we are sure that anything we are saying, no one's listening, no one's taking notes, no one is being influenced. And lastly, having a conversation with your leader about what your next is. And they say to you, hey, I'm confused. I am not quite sure what you're interested in. And that happened to me. My boss said to me, well, you love being involved in training and leadership, but you're working in finance. I can't tell what you want to do next. That's not my fault. I am great at so many things. If you've experienced one or more of these scenarios, just say yes. I know we are virtual, but this is an engaging presentation. Say yes. Today, we'll talk about these three areas. First of all, some of the impediments that are barriers to our journeys in life. As we talk about these impediments, think about where are you in your journey? And lastly, I'll share some strategies about how you can overcome these impediments and elevate in your journey. First, just a little bit about me, Elizabeth, Dr. E. Carter, PhD. I consider myself a corporate drifter. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do in life, and I still to this day have so many different interests. I still am a confusing person to leaders in organizations, but that's okay. I continue to learn and grow so that no matter what they throw at me, I'm able to overcome it. And I would say that in this 25 plus years of working in a corporate environment, in insurance, in finance, which I would call a STEM discipline, it has been challenging. And why I stay is because if I don't stay, there is no one who looks like me to guide the next generation of leaders, something I didn't have when I was coming up. And I want to be sure that I empower persons of color to get beyond feeling muted, confused, unsure about where they're going in their corporate journey so that they can be successful. And success can mean many things. Success for some may mean being in the C-suite. Success for others may be leading a really strong team to drive great results. Success for others may be monetarily feeling comfortable and not having to worry about anything. But regardless of what success means to you, you still need to understand the challenges that may prohibit you from getting there. So let's first talk about these impediments. And when I think about the impediments in my life, all I really want and still am yearning for is to be visible, vocal, and valued. Visible so that I am in rooms where people know who I am. When I walk in, the music stops because they know I've arrived and I'm important. Being vocal is that when I speak, I don't feel muted. My words are being heard. Remember E.F. Hutton? E.F. Hutton said, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. That's what I want to be and have become. And once being visible and vocal, being valued, ensuring that the recognition is given to you so that you know that what you're working on, what you've done, does add value and is meaningful, and you are changing lives inside and even outside of your organization. But I will tell you, it has been a struggle, as I mentioned. Often we hear when leaders are talking about finding the next set of leaders, see in the middle and upper management layers, that, hey, we can't find good talent, not enough people out there. And the problem is that it's a pipeline issue. The reason why there are not enough people ready and willing to step up is because there's not enough people coming from the individual contributor ranks into the first level of leadership. This visual here shows what's called the broken rung syndrome. For men, it appears they can easily climb the ladder without any problems. But for women, there always seems to be something broken where you take a step and you feel like you're falling fast. You can never get beyond that step. And that happened to me when I first got started in my insurance career. It was the late 1990s. I had come in well at the bottom of the scale as an associate analyst, worked my way up to a senior analyst. The next step was division manager, where I would be leading the team of analysts from all those roles I held previously. The job became available. I applied and I was told I was not ready. What could that be? My ego was deflated. I had worked so hard to learn all the aspects of the roles. I was confused. What else was I missing? I was unsure what I had to do next. And I felt as if the company made me jump through unnecessary hoops. First, they had me informally lead a team of 2 or 3 people just to see if I knew what I was doing. But informal is not the same as leading the entire team, which was about 7 or 8 people. Next, they had me work the summer in the corporate home office so that I could learn more about the organization and how it worked. But I had already been doing that and interacting with all the same people in corporate. So it really made no sense. I decided that I would go ahead and jump through those hoops, ensuring that I was learning and I was growing personally, in spite of the fact that I felt it was unfair. And then I did get the promotion to the division manager. And I know, and I will tell you all, sometimes life feels unfair. But it was at that moment I realized that every single step I took, whether it felt like a misstep or an unneeded step, I made sure I learned something from it. I networked with someone to know that They know who I was and what I brought to the table, and I made sure it all was worth my while. The second area of leadership and moving up is once we get past that first level of management, is how do we get to the next and the next? There are different types of barriers that we come across at this level. First is what's called the glass ceiling. That's where we can clearly see what's next. We see people there doing it. There may even be somebody who looks like us there doing it, but we can't figure out how to get from where we are to that point. And I get tired when I ask the question, hey, what else do I have to be doing to get promoted? And it's always the same answer. Oh, just keep doing what you're doing. But I've been doing what I've been doing, and I'm getting the same thing, nothing. That has always been a challenge, and many of us have had that same problem. The other more challenging barrier that happens specifically to women of color is what is called the concrete ceiling. That means, boy, you can't see anything. You are right here. You see this? The top of our head is at the top. We have no clue, no idea. There is no one telling us that there is anything beyond where we are right now. That's challenging because we do good work. We are smart, we are intelligent, we are leaders. We can change the dynamic of the organization. And here's one more that I found during my research called the glass cliff assignment. And this happens to minorities, and this could be men or women, where they are put in a role that inherently is going to fail them. Let me tell you a little bit more about this one. This is so interesting because I think many of us have seen this situation, whether it was ourselves personally or someone else we knew, where first of all, the role was considered unimportant. There may have been pressure to create a role, say, hey, we need to check this box that we are promoting diversity in our workplace. We are promoting women and people of color into higher levels. Let's create this thing and give it to them so that we can say we've done our part. But there's no power in the role. There's no support. There's no resources. Second is impossible. Impossible means the job is given to you, but you have less than a 50-50 chance of success. And last, controversial. You are asked to lead work that is inherently being met with adversity and resistance. You are set up to fail. And that's because we don't have the tools, we don't have the people or the resources or the support. These are the barriers that hinder our journey in the workplace. Now, think about where you are in your journey. And think about, again, not it being in a corporate environment, think about the barriers that impede or impeding you today. Think about who are you? Who are you in your organization? Are you working on moving up from where you are as individual contributor or a new person? Are you one who is at a mid, upper level management trying to get to your next, maybe looking to move across, up, out, whatever it is? And then where are you? Are you feeling as if any of those areas I described to you pertaining to whether or not it's the broken run syndrome, the concrete ceiling or glass cliff assignment applies to you? Often we feel these symptoms, but we're not quite sure what it is. We're thinking, maybe that's just the way it works here. If we're new, we don't know the history of the organization or what the corporate culture is, where possibly this is the way the movement happens when we're in an organization, but we're not sure. So I want to be able to offer you some strategies that you can do today if you're feeling as if these barriers are encompassing you right now, or as early warning indicators so that you can be ahead of anything that may stop, halt, or slow down your career. But first, I would love for you to go to my website shown there or scan the QR code for a free gift. What I have for you is a little download called it's about the secrets and how to elevate your value. It's a checklist. All that I talk about is about elevating your value, how to elevate your value to get beyond any barrier that is allowing you not to be your best and not to achieve your best. It comes from a framework I put together called the YUPS. And I call it the YUPS because when you read the checklist, you will say to yourself, yup, I should be doing that. Yup, I tried it. Maybe I didn't try hard enough. Yup, someone else did it and it worked. It comes from three main areas: to set up yourself, meaning how do you change your mindset? Show up, how do you allow yourself to be visible and vocal? And step up, how to set yourself and show up and step into the future where people know who you are and you are valued. So please go ahead and get this download. Here are the strategies. Strategy number one, you have to have a strategy team. We cannot climb these ladders or hills or journeys alone. We need help. We need mentors and sponsors. And let me tell you the difference between the two. A mentor is someone who has been where you are or is where you want to be. That person can share with you what they have done, what they have seen, what worked, didn't work. You can bounce ideas off of them. You can talk to them about situations you're going through right now. They can weigh in to let you know whether or not what you're seeing or experiencing is normal or abnormal. A sponsor is a person who is talking about you in rooms you are not in. I give this great comparison. The mentor prepares you to walk up to the door. The sponsor is the person on the other side of the door who is promoting you to the group and will then open the door for you. That's why both are critical in your career. Sponsors, especially when you get to the higher levels, because those leaders talk to each other. They have an element of trust. You need to make sure leaders know who you are, what you bring to the table, because it's not who and what they do, but who they know and what they can do. In corporate, there's probably about a 3-degree sense of separation between who knows who, and it gets smaller the higher up you go. You definitely want to make sure the right people know who you are and know your brand. The second strategy, and I'm trying to find it now, is make successful, scary shifts. What that means is sometimes because we've got that cement ceiling or that broken rung, we have to make a dramatic shift into something totally different. I would tell you that in my journey, I made a shift from property casualty insurance into healthcare insurance. And an area that stopped me, which was actually part of the glass ceiling perspective, was that they told me I couldn't come in as a vice president because I didn't have the prerequisite health insurance experience. So I said, well, maybe I need to stay where I was, which was property casualty, but I couldn't find a job there. I said to the recruiter, well, what do you have that would A, meet my salary expectations, never sacrifice your worth or your value for anyone. And I said, what do you have that is in my price range where I could come in and show you the greatness that I am and learn the business? And I was fortunate to be able to shift. And it was scary. How do you like being the new person on a job? I do it, but it's not fun. And I've learned skills to be able to get my 30, 60, 90 day on track so that I don't feel new for that long. But it was scary. And we sometimes have to do that in order to move, grow, and move forward. Number three, question what it is and what it isn't. Before you take the job, ask them, what support will you have? How big is your team? If the role is new, how soon do you get a team? Who is your support system? What training will be available to you? That will allow you to understand whether or not you're walking into a successful situation or a stressful situation. Those are the three strategies that I have for you that will allow you to overcome your broken rung and cement ceilings in the workplace. Again, I will ask you all, please go ahead and download my free gift. I provide other tips from my checklist that will allow you to elevate your value today. If you're feeling as if you're the only one in the room, you're not feeling valued, you're over preparing, everyone else seems to be lackadaisical and informal, you're not hearing or seeing the recognition for your efforts, I will tell you, please reach out to me. I would love to be able to empower you to get past that feeling of being deflated, unsure, confused, so that you can elevate in the workplace. Please reach out to me. You can reach out to me via email or go to my website, eac-appeal.com, contact us, and set up an appointment to talk to me. Again, I am Elizabeth Dr. E. Carter, PhD. Thank you, Shay Brown and the Comeback Champion team. It's an honor to serve you in this capacity. Please enjoy the rest of the summit, and I will see you soon.